Hi everyone, I'm Dean. Just going to show you the van and show you how everything works. So we're in the van. First things first, let's find the switches. So there's the lights, far left, and then you've got the pump, which is for the sink, we'll get to in a second. The fridge, notice when you press the fridge the number starts going down, be aware of that. And electrics is something else. Anyway, so you turn them two off, leave the lights on for now. Just to be aware, the plugs only work when you are plugged in to a campsite, so you're hooked up to electric. Don't make the mistake of thinking you can just plug it in there. However, no need to panic because there's USB ports there. Also, there's a cigarette lighter there. You're not going to need that. But all comes in, you can charge your phone up on the side overnight, and it comes in handy. That. So that's the switches. Right. So I'll show you the fridge. So obviously, switch the fridge on. It's the third one in. Just be aware that the fridge uses a lot of power, so you can't leave it on all day if you're not running the van. So on the numbers here, on the voltage, if that gets below 10, you need to turn the fridge off and get the van going to charge the battery up. So that's the fridge. Reasonable size, little shelf, etc. Keeps things, just does work quite well. You can lock that as well. So when you're driving, things can't come out. I've had fruit all over the van before, so don't do that. Right, so I'll show you how the sink works. Easy peasy. Second one in is the sink. It just literally says fresh water pump. It is pretty fresh most of the time. Lift that up, got a finger thing there. Lift the sink up like that, nice and steady, and out comes water. It's really good. Just make sure you put it down fully and don't hit the lid onto that, because obviously it can cause problems. So the water tank itself is kept just here. Just be careful as you're pulling it out so it doesn't pull the cord. Just pull it out nice and slowly. You only ever like half fill this tank. That's as full as it'll ever go, because when you're driving it'll just splash out the whole. So just so you know, when it runs out, you want to leave that like that. Leave the actual, I suppose it's like the filter thing at the bottom. Leave it hanging for a couple of minutes and let all the water drain out the pipe. Otherwise, if you pull it out too quick, water's going to go everywhere and you're going to need to wipe up. So yeah, give it a minute, and then, like I say, only half fill it, and then put that back in, and then there is actually a line on there, so you'll never actually get it wrong on the other side of the bottle. So yeah, once you've done that, you just put it back in, and you're good to go. Right, so I'll show you the gas and how the hob works. So big hob, little hob. What you're going to do to turn the gas on first is come in here, and then you come inside. You put the finger in the little hole, lift up, and that's the knob there. You can't quite see it. Oh, there we can. You just turn it. Hear the crack. Just give it 10 seconds or so. There's wiring and stuff in here. Just ignore the wiring. The wiring is absolutely fine. Just the only thing to be aware of is that. So don't touch the wiring. And then it's like how your hob would work at home. Just push that in. Hold it for a few seconds. There we go. You can hear it now. You can hear it. So yeah, that's how that works. Just be aware that don't try and put your hand over this one to do the net to get that one going. If you're going to get one going first, do that one, and you don't have to reach over. And to turn it off, the best way to turn it off in the safest way is to turn it off at the gas bottle. Once again, literally like a quarter of a turn. Just finger tight. Don't need to be any tighter. And then that will go out there. And then then you can't ever leave the gas on and gas it's being unsafe. But given that, there is a carbon monoxide alarm there, so all safe. And then yeah, just put the lid back on and just give it a little knock. All good. Just a quick one with the cupboard up here. There's actually some twinkle lights just above the cupboard, so you don't have to have the real bright lights on at night. If you come in here, there's 4 mugs, knives, forks, spoons, like sort of scissors, bottle openers, can openers, and some sauces and some tea bags, bits of coffee and stuff in there. So yeah, keeps everything nice and neat out of the way. Following on from the utensils and the mugs, we've obviously got everything else you might need on a camping trip. We've got plates, not as neat as they once was, and we have bowls, we've got pots, pans, we've got a whistling kettle. That's quite a good one, although it looks like it's been used a couple of times. Chopping board, and then yeah, a few things for your pasta and your eggs and fry ups and all the rest of it. Right, so we're on the 3/4 rock and roll bed, and it is quite comfortable. So I'll show you how it works. You literally lift this up, and you've got a lever there. If you just push this frame down, this actual frame here, if you push that down, it just releases the pressure on that bolt, and it just slides out like that. Just pull it out slowly, don't do it fast. Just be aware, if you've got bags, you can put the bags in the main frame, that's okay, but if you put the bags on the side, the legs will catch the bags. So don't, just be aware, don't put any bags down there and try and pull the bed out. So yeah, just pull it nice and slowly, and it will stop just before this edge here in the fridge. You would probably put a quilt over this, and then the quilt, which is much easier. But it is really comfortable. And to fold it up, you literally go in the middle, pull the yellow tag out, pull once, and then just slide like that. And again, if you just push down, that'll just fall in. So it's got the pressure, it can't ever come undone that way. That's the idea. So I'll show you how the pop top works. This is the only little tricky thing in the van really, everything else is quite straightforward. So you come over here and you pull, and you'll hear the click, and you push that down. But when you're pushing this down, before you push this down, make sure this tray where you charge your phone up and stuff is in, because it's like here. It'll just take it straight off. And from here, you've got room then to come up here, pull the tags down, and the tags are just on a little clamp system. I'll bring one down. It just look like that. So all you do is just pull that back, and that's gripping. No, it's not. You just pull it within an inch like that. You don't need to fully take them off. Same with this one. And then push. And then it probably take about 30 seconds, maybe a minute, to really fully stretch out properly. And then once you've done that, you can then stand up in here. So when you're cooking, you can stand up and not worry about having to bend down like I've been doing for the other shots. From here, you've got the vents. Just be aware when you do go really north, like north, and you get them tiny midges, apparently they can get through there. I've not had it, but someone else has told me about it, so just be aware, but everything else can't fit through. And then you've got you've got the PVC window, which is brilliant, because it does let a lot of light in. That's a complete contrast now and here now. It's great. I'll show you how the bed works up here. So if you just come back out the way, pull it down, there's actually a camp mat up here. Like that, and then pass that back to my brother. So to get the camp mat working, it's like any other camp mat, you just literally, you'll hear it go, and then give it about 15 minutes and it'll be fully inflated, and then just tighten them back up, and then just make sure it's somewhere in the middle, and you can just physically jump up. Obviously I'm doing this with my shoes on, do not do this with your shoes on. Yeah, so you just jump up, and once you're up, you relax then. And then once your mat's inflated and you've slept on it and you've enjoyed yourself, etc., and then when you're trying to put it away, make sure you deflate it, because when you're putting the pop top back down, there's not actually enough room when you pull it down, so you need to give yourself a couple of minutes and deflate it properly and get it square in position, like this, like that, so it's not any angles anywhere. It's how it should be, ready for the pop top to come back down, and it's got the room to come in. So yeah, I'll show you how to bring the pop top down. This is where you're going to need a little bit of strength slash skill, I suppose. I like to wrap my arms around. I just do that, and then I just pull it down like that, and that's technically down, but it's not technically done. Anyway, you've got to pull all this out, make sure there's nothing hanging outside, because otherwise it won't seal. If it doesn't seal, it's no good. So what we'll do, we'll just pull it like that. Make sure all your straps, like see how that's twisted like that, that's no good to anyone. Got to make sure that they're fully square like that. Right, and what we'll do, we'll jump out the van and check. Look, like it's nowhere near. Yeah, now that's miles better. I can see that. Oh look, it's like this. No good. So just come along. Keep one hand on this because it will want to go up. Just be aware when you're putting this pop top down, that tension strap at the back that you're going to take, or unclip should I say, at night when you're sleeping, that's got to be clipped up to keep this inwards. Otherwise it gets caught in the mechanisms at the side and rips the pop top. Make sure all of this is tucked in. Another thing, don't stand on there because it's just for show. It looks nice but it won't support your weight. So we'll get back in. So we'll come back in the van. Just be aware, you need to give yourself 5 minutes to do this. Don't try and rush this. So just pull it like this first, just to get it somewhere near, and then slide these up. So you hold this, pull this tag down, and just hold that open, and it'll just slide. And once you're at the top, the best thing to do there is pull the buckle back via this to the back or to the top. So then you've got more room to pull down into, like that. We might have to readjust it anyway, but that's the way to do it. So you pull it right to the top and right to the back. So see, like there's more room here. If you just left it, it wouldn't be able to tighten. So that might be somewhere near, so we'll check it on the outside and we'll go from there. That's nowhere near. So if it looks like this, you need to start again. If you're driving along the motorway and the wind gets under that, it'll just rip the top, the pop top straight up. So I undid the straps and I pulled as much material out as I could, nice and gently, but ensuring as much of all the material from the side is in the van, so it's not in the way. And then I've then re-pulled it down, so we'll check it again and see if it's somewhere near. That's closer. Oh, still no good though, that. Just try pulling it from the inside a bit tighter and see if that gets those last few millimeters out, but it's no good that. After a bit of adjustment and re-pulling back down, you'll know, because you will have pulled it hard and it won't have moved. So obviously I readjusted, pulled it back down a couple of times, and that's about as maximum as you're going to go for. It's just a couple of mil gap, can't be any more than that. So just be persistent. Like I say, that's how it wants to look, sealed, perfect. And then from in here, you just, once you've got these, you just fold them up like that, and just tuck them out there. Tuck them up there out of the way, and then you can just tuck stuff in then if you want to make it look a bit neater. And then once you've done that, it's just a case of pulling this lever again and pulling back, and then you're all done. So this is the back of the van. Open it up, we've got a table there, I'll show you that works in a minute. We've got the cable for the electric hookup, which is then here in there, and what you need to do is plug that in first and then plug it into your power on the site, and then when you finish, pull it out of the power on the site and then pull it out of the van. You've also got camping mat, like a camping blanket, and then we've got a fire blanket as well. You're definitely not going to need that. I hope you're not going to need that, but it's there anyway. And then this is obviously the cupboard space where the electrics is, which you're not going to need to touch. But just be aware, you don't want any big bags in there that's going to be knocking. You might knock it, so you try and keep that free, or put some coats and stuff in there, stuff that's quite light. Big bags under here. So you've got the stabilisers to level you up at night. They're absolute godsend, you're going to need them. And then we've got 3 chairs, and then you've got also your window, like your blinds, basically, window blinds for all the front. That's it really for the back, so I'll show you how this works. Click, click. Have these at the top, they've got to be at the top. And then all you do is hook it on that rail, and that's it. Make sure this leg's nice and straight, and if you've got guests in the car, in the van, you can sit there and then someone sit here, and if you want to pop the pop top up, you can. So you can literally have a table between us. in such a short space. It's quite nice. So I hope you found the video helpful. You can always message me, you can always re-watch the video, but yeah, most of all, just enjoy Bing and get out there and have fun.